As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut deemed to be university, and it's a Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies extend greetings to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture. This webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Today is 18th August 2022. The webinar is on very important topic, animal health industry. Animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent, and technology have powers to transform this animal health industry. This is a very important topic which will be addressed by an eminent person, veterinarian, working in corporate sector. Dr. Maneesh Jain, I welcome you, sir. He is the founder and CEO of the startup Vvaan Lifesciences Private Limited. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speaker, so far under this webinar series, the university has organized 88 webinars on various important topics. Role of agricultural cooperative societies and e-governance. Blockchain technology-based fishery value chain. A self-contained village, a felt need of the day. Spices informatics network value chain. Lantana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove. Smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system. Mera mobile, Mera marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture. In short, MAPA biofarms for income revolution. Smart tribal agriculture optimizing value chain. Digital agri-tech and industry perspective. Land resources information system in India, present and road ahead. Weather decision technologies for increasing farm income. Big data in smart farming. Sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture. Understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income. Role of technologies in mitigating crop risk. How to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce. Adoption of flexi rubber check dam technology. Potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems. Realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry. Octosol organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health. Artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agriculture crop protection. Empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination. Smart poultry monitoring solutions. Agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmer welfare and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy. Manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity. Sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase. Role of geographical indication and improving farmers' income. Lessons from Asia Pacific region. Dairy informatics network value chain. A dairy tech startup perspective for farmers' income increase. Spices informatics network value chain. A turmeric startup perspective for farmers' income increase. Generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech intervention. Nutrition sensitive agriculture. Pathway for increasing farmers' income. Artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease. Bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and farmer produce organization. Tech enabling India's tech star farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income. Our open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from Green TV. Extac, open source digital infrastructure for the agriculture ecosystem, a Linux Foundation project. Circular bioeconomy towards resilience, urgent need for redefining raw materials and modified waste management policies and regulations. Agri-tech new horizon in Indian agriculture. Supporting of farmers for marketing will only help doubling of income by 2022. Rural transformation for farmers' income increase, case studies from impoverished districts. Mobile enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenge, a case study from daily orders. John Terry's journey in India, integrated precision agriculture solutions, doubling the income of farmers through eco-agri revolution. Bayer's carbon farming initiative, post-production intervention, maximizing value for farmers. BAIF models of revival of traditional water management systems to enable doubling of farmers' income. Should we adopt to farmers' welfare as a new paradigm shift instead of farmers' income? ICT intervention in agriculture, challenges and opportunities, democratizing the future of farming, a global experience. Commercial processing of orders, next game changer in dairy. Data driven agriculture and agri-tech startup perspective. Agribusiness potentials in Muriga. Agriculture income pathways, strengthening links between agriculture activities and nutrition outcome. Technology, education, research, rehabilitation for the environment, cultivating dignity for farmers, model village development program, a case study from Maharashtra, market driven agriculture, need for development of crop specific strategies at block level, farmers collective and value addition, powerful business model for income increase for small and marginal farmers, lessons from Operation Flood for transforming agriculture and food systems, sustainable food production, agriculture marketing in India, defects therein and remedial measures, if any, small scale fisheries and their contribution to rural livelihoods, case studies from developing countries, impacting lives through livelihood promotion and value chain development, case study of Vritti impact model, organic spices cultivation for doubling of farmers' income in northeast region of India, a value chain analysis, agriculture exports management, imperatives of integrating with the global value chain at the earliest, agriculture value chain challenges and opportunities, dairy husbandry for food security and national prosperity, mushroom cultivation, a way towards self-reliance from agriculture waste and providing nutritional food security to the nation. Subhas Palekar's natural farming, future of farming rooted in Indian tradition. Vision 2025, agriculture and allied sectors viewpoint. Doubling income of tribal families through value chain intervention on minor forest producer. A case study on custard apple value chain from Udaipur, Rajasthan. Unnati Agri, Internet in farmlands, key for prosperous farmers. Jackfruit Informatics network value chain, a needed digital infrastructure for increasing farmers' income. Doubling of farmers' income through integrated agri value chain. Potential role of minor fruits in achieving nutritional and livelihood security. Fisheries Informatics network value chain, a case study from Mancha Technologies. Untapped potential for growth, co-create solutions to realize gains for farms, gains for household, and gains for communities. Neem tree, sustainable solution to livelihood, chemical-free nutritious food, and global warming. One district, one product informatics network value chain, the key to unlocking India's potential of agri exports. Village e-commerce, challenges, barriers, and potentials in rural India. Export promotion of GI tagged agriculture products from India, issues, challenges, and potential. Doubling Indian farmers' income through indigenous cows, opportunities and challenges. Livestock insurance ecosystem, a necessity for smallholder farmer in India. Innovative future farming, need for design of agriculture. This talk was postponed due to this speaker's request. Empowering rural farmers by co-creating value-added products and agri-techpreneur perspective, food value chain issues and challenges and potential. Today is 89th edition of this national webinar series, which will be addressed by Dr. Maneesh Jain, Founder and CEO, Vvaan Lifesciences Private Limited, Mumbai, on a very important topic: animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent, and technology have power to transform. Dear participants, you please see the key words: animal health, industry, quality, innovation, talent, technology, and transformation. India is a land of villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agriculture country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages, Gram Pradesh, Gram Pradhan Desh, having more than 6.25 lakhs villages, is the foundation of Indian economy. Agriculture is the foundation of Indian economy. It employs more than 50% of the India's workforce, and it is single largest sector, giving more employment opportunities. Contributes about 19% of GDP. At present, agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. Climate change has got both the direct and indirect effects on agricultural productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe droughts, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. India's labor intensive and subsistence based agriculture sector is particularly vulnerable to this development. Farmers of India are facing multidimensional problems: price fluctuation, debt, and lack of infrastructure and weather. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crores operational holdings, of which 85% of the farmers are having small and marginal operational holdings. They need timely, location specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. I would like to quote our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, at the 7th Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog, held on 7th August 2022. In his opening address, he stressed the need to focus on modernized agriculture, animal husbandry, and food processing to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agriculture. Needed to focus on modernized agriculture, animal husbandry, and food processing to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agriculture. In his closing remarks, he said each state should focus on promoting trade, tourism, and technology via every Indian mission around the world. The states must focus on reducing imports, increasing exports, and identifying opportunities thereof. Also would like to quote what the Doubling Farmers Income by 2022 report 2018, it is popularly called as Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee report. And I have been closely associated with this committee for two volumes, Volume 11 and Volume 12b. Volume 11 talks about empowering the farmers through extension knowledge dissemination, and Volume 12b talks about digital technology in agriculture. As a group leader of these two volumes, Volume 12b talks about total digitalization of Indian agriculture through 7 mission mode projects. One is that digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, synergizing of Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India programs for transformational reforms in agriculture sector through smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agriculture risk management solutions, and then digitalized agriculture resources information system and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. Digitalized value chain for 400 agriculture commodities. Digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management systems. And the last one is very important: digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This includes farmers' health, that is, population health, animal health, soil health, water health, fish health, and environmental health. And these are all working in silos. You know that 85% of the disease which we get come from animal sources. And then COVID-19 is one such episode. And this is very important. This is a $1 trillion data economy. If we are able to see this data, which are available in vertical silos, processed or non-processed, digitalized, non-digitalized, if they are visible at a GIS technology layer on a village, over a village, I think hereafter no country can go for national lockdown. And Atmanirbhar Bharat, road ahead, it is the vision of our Prime Minister of India, making India a self-reliant nation rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, based on 5 pillars: quantum jump-in economy, infrastructure, one that represents India, system 21st century technology driven and vibrant demography, and demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity, and also raised vocal for local and make in India for global. And that is very important. And in the agriculture sector, and as the third branch of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the government has provided about 1.5 lakh crore as a booster. 1 lakh crore to agriculture cooperative societies, farmer producer organization, and startups for boosting farm gate infrastructure. 10,000 crores for formalization of micro-food enterprises and for following cluster-based farming approach. 20,000 crores for PM's Matsya Sampada Yojana to pay way for additional fish production of 70 lakh ton over 5 years. 13,000 crores to achieve 100% vaccination of cattle, buffaloes, sheep, goats, and pigs. 15,000 crores for animal husbandry infrastructure. 1,000 crores for promoting herbal cultivation to cover 10 lakh hectares under herbal cultivation in 2 years, and 500 crores for beekeeping initiatives. And we also have Amrit Kaal led up to 100, means by 1947 how India should be. 25 years perspective plan, and for that also a blueprint has been laid out with a focus complementing the macroeconomic level growth focus with a microeconomic level all-inclusive welfare focus. Macroeconomic growth focus and microeconomy all-inclusive welfare focus. Promoting digital economy and fintech, technology-enabled development, energy transition, and climate action. Relying on virtuous cycle starting from private investment with public capital investment helping to crowd in private investment. And I also would like to quote Prime Minister's historic Independence Day speech given on 15th August 2022, 76th Independence Day. He named 5 pillars for India's development, 5 pledges for 2047. 5 prongs. Having developed India, Vikshit Bharat, removing any sign of servility, pride in heritage, unity, and fulfilling our duties, we should achieve by 2047. Amrit Kaal at 100. Urging the citizen to focus on the Panch Pran, 5 pledges, to make India a developed nation in 25 years. Today's India is an aspirational society where there is a collective awakening to take our nation to new heights. India is mother of democracy. Diversity is its strength. We salute the architects of free India who significantly contributed to India's freedom. Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations and Agenda 2030 gives, promotes, aims at the future we want. It has got 17 goals and associated 169 targets to be achieved. Today's topic is very important. I would like to quote one of the article which has been published in the Informatics newsletter in the month of July 2012 from National Informatics Center, and that time I was the Deputy Director General, NIC, head of the Agricultural Informatics Division, and implementing the National Animal Disease Reporting System, 7,032 locations in the country to monitor about 143 animal diseases as listed by OIE. And the topic is changing scenario in ICT enabled veterinary services. Changing scenario in ICT enabled veterinary services and livestock informatics. And it is very important. And even though, 2012, between 2010 and 2012, we were able to network 7,032 locations in the country below district level. I was associated with 520 plus districts, district level programs, first e-governance program way back in 87. I was the project leader for district information system program. And 2010-12, Government of India established 7,032 location-based, node-based national animal disease reporting system. It was expected as a very successful program. It was successful to begin with, but after my retirement 2013, and that is not much impact, much strength to given this project. We wanted to bring in all the milk collection center to brought under National Animal Disease Reporting System. And that made me, that is a very important thing that, and we also, you know, put a proposal to the government way back in 2000 to have an animal production and health informatics network in the country. 1995, I held an international conference on informatics for agriculture, sustainable agriculture, which gave an IT blueprint, 15 informatics network for the agriculture sector for total digitalization of Indian agriculture. 95 and 87, 3 district level program, district agriculture, district animal husbandry, district fisheries. 87, 95 and 2012, and then now 2018, doubling farmers income committee report, digital technology in agriculture with the 7 mission mode programs. I have been consistently associated as its leader from 87 onwards. Now after retirement, I have joined as the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, deemed to be University Meerut, established 5 centers of excellence to promote digital technology based development in rural India through agriculture sector, allied sector, SMEs, and health. That's why many centers of excellence have been established to train, skill, provide entrepreneurship of rural boys and girls to make rural India smile, shine, and grow. And then we also had, I was in that Animal Health Summit, I was able to meet Dr. Maneesh Jain. He is one of the panel member, and I was chairing the session. I would like to, in the on that panel, and in the way in which Dr. Maneesh Jain talked about it, which appealed to me, that's why I invited him to participate in this weekly webinar series, and he was, consented to participate, and today is participating. And Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture conducted an India Animal Health Summit 2022 on 6th to 7th July 2022, and the summit, envisaged to unleash the potential for innovation, growth, investment, and partnership in animal health sector. Innovation, growth, investment, and partnership in the animal health sector. There are 6 sessions, and fifth session was on startups ecosystem and digital technologies and animal husbandry sector, animal health sector. Animal husbandry and animal health goes together. AH and AH. AH is for AH, animal health for animal husbandry. It's very important. And both needs artificial intelligence. And and artificial insemination in animal husbandry sector, they have AI, and in computer science we have AI. This is artificial intelligence, other is artificial insemination. And in this one, that's very important points were discussed. India boasts the world's largest cattle population and produces the most milk, yet per animal productivity remains low. Low productivity can be caused by multiple factors, the most important being animal health, which has serious bearing on productivity. as animals are reservoirs of various developing diseases. Disease surveillance in animals has the added benefit of protecting human through early diagnosis. Very important. This is where National Animal Disease Reporting System back in 2012 was very important. Even FAO was looking for successful implementation in India for replication in other countries. And animal health issue is a pressing concern for India. And to address animal health issues and scaling up government efforts across the states, India's animal health industry has to be the future ready. From Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, deemed to be University Meerut, we organize 2 webinars in every week to promote technology in agriculture and analytics sector. One is on international webinar series on open source digital technology in agriculture in towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. And we had an important topic addressed by very eminent professional experts. Dr. Jabamale and Binanchi Arachi, former principal advisor to UNIDO, talked on seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy. Mr. Rohila, chairman of NAB Foundation, talked on leveraging the power of convergence through connecting the dots, agri startups, agripreneurs, and rural innovators. Mr. Ajay Mutreja is an expert on startups ecosystems. When he talked about Indian startups reflections and possible policy intervention needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat, the India needs to support 14.5 crore operational holders, one agri-tech startup in every Gram Panchayat, 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups to help this farming community, and livestock sector needs heavily in every Gram Panchayat. And in view of the need of looking at data analytics in and over a village by integrating seamlessly various silos, human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, we have National Informatics Center also launched Health Informatics Network Value Chain to bring in decision support system based on artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and blockchain. And the whole country is now adopting One Health Systems. One Health System concept integrates human health and plant nutrition, plant protection, and animal health, and so on and so forth. It is very important. And health informatics network value chain, we need to have health informatics professionals, MSc and BSc in health informatics, with competency in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics with respect to health data coming from these different disciplines. And the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology is going to launch an MSc and BSc Health Informatics, programs. And also, I addressed Agro World 2018 Startup Convention organized by ICFA. It talks about digital marketing startup, horticulture startup, e-commerce startup, organic startup, agri-inputs startup, farm tech startups, dairy startups, poultry startups, fishery startups, retailing startups, startup investors, and startup incubator. And animal health startups is also very important. In this connection, we also had a discussion by the Animal Husbandry Commissioner, Dr. Praveen Malik, on the topic Health Informatics Network Value Chain, National Animal Disease Reporting System 2012 and beyond. And also another talk by Dr. Sindhuru Kanapati. He is a visiting fellow in the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India. He talked on Health Informatics Network Value Chain, building of One Health ecosystem, role of digital architecture. It's very important. He also talks about the many challenges limiting the potential of livestock sector. And that's how he's talking about, digital architecture for an ecosystem that is One Health ecosystem. And another topic by a very important social entrepreneur, why don't we adopt a dairy value system, which operationalized by Dr. Korean in many of the agricultural value systems by in a very important social entrepreneur, Mr. Krishna Kopal, and also by that agriculture value chain, the challenges and potential. We should have an integrated agriculture value chain by Dr. Goyal, former principal, additional chief secretary to Government of India, Dr. S.K. Goyal. Let us look at animal health industry in India. Indian animal health care market is estimated to be around 7,000 crores 2021-22. The species share in animal health market is 55% of livestock, 33% of poultry, 8% of companion animals, 3% of aqua, rest 1% other remaining animals is from International Foundation for Animal Health from their website. There are nearly more than 50 major companies operating in animal health market in India, though the market is dominated by 10 players. The regulation of animal health products in India is under the control of veterinary cell of Central Drug Standard Control Organization. The technical review for veterinary products for registration is done by Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying for the farm and companion animal products, and Department of Fisheries for the aqua products. Biological are studied and evaluated by Indian Institute of Veterinary Science of Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and Department of Ayush is responsible for bringing regulations for herbal and contemporary medicine meant for animal use. Animal health industry is working together and strengthening the animal husbandry in the country. Animal husbandry, dairying, fisheries sector plays an important role, significant role in supplementing family incomes and generating employment in the rural sector. More than 20.5 million workers are engaged in animal farming, and about 87.7% of the livestock is owned by farmers of marginal, small, and semi-medium operational holdings. Animal husbandry and allied sector has a vast infrastructural support from the Government of India. As of March 3rd, 31st, 2021, there are 11,959 veterinary hospitals and polyclinics, 25,850 veterinary dispensaries, and more than 27,949 veterinary aid centers. India has got one of the largest breeding infrastructures in the world, 56 frozen semen stations, and 112,361 artificial insemination centers, which has performed 78.5 million artificial insemination during 2020-21. Veterinary education too is gaining a lot of emphasis. The country has got 13 state veterinary universities and 2 deemed universities. There are currently 58 veterinary colleges, sufficing the growing requirement of human resources and their development in the country. But there are a lot of other forums who are talking about India needs more than 450 veterinary colleges. Animal healthcare market. Indian animal healthcare market has valued at US dollar 869.54 million in 2021 and is projected to expand at the compound annual growth rate of 6.9 crore percent from 2022 to 2031. It is to be around US dollar 1.36 billion by 2031, according to the Transnational Marketing Research, which is taken from the website www.biospace.com. Animal health product manufacturers are biopharmaceutical companies. They invest in research and development to develop innovative medicines and products for food production and companion animals. The animal health industry collaborates with the farmers, government agencies, veterinarians, and other groups to ensure the health and safety animals, and also involved in 3D printed drug markets. Factors driving the 3D printed drugs market include the rise in demand of rapid soluble drugs, increase in elderly population, rise in rate of adoption of personalized drugs, increase in production of companion medicine, and high rate of adoption of 3D printing technology. It is interesting. Animal health industry vibrant outlook ahead. It is from the indiandairy.com. It is animal husbandry sector has transformed itself in recent years from disease control and treatment activities to a complete healthcare provider industry and supporting the task of bridging the protein gap. It is expected to grow at an annual rate of 10 to 11% as against 2 to 3% of global growth. India is the fastest growing animal health markets globally. In an effort to provide quality and safe products, Indian animal health industry has taken several important initiatives, according to an article by Satish Pasricha, former managing director, Birbak Animal Health India Private Limited. Animal health industry has a vital role to play in realization of animal food objectives, prevention and control of emerging and re-emerging diseases of economic importance, improving health and productivity, ensuring safe, health, nutritious animal protein to meet the growing demand of health population, providing newer and cost-effective solutions in diagnosis and disease management, quick dissemination of relevant technical information at a doorstep of all stakeholders, including nutritious fodder in every bovine animal's farmer. Institutions should take responsibility of building a talent pipeline, especially for poultry, dairy, canine, and equine sectors. The industry needs to focus on quality talent pool and align compensation to keep the sector attractive enough. Animal health industry should also focus on upgrading the skill sets of their own human resources to enhance their productivity. Healthy animals means healthier India means healthier world. Animal health technology industry analysis. Animal health companies are increasingly adopting and developing digital technologies to monitor health of pets and livestock. Technologies such as wearable and sensors combined with artificial intelligence can provide early warning of disease, which in the case of farmers is invaluable if they want to prevent an outbreak among their livestock. It has to reach every livestock owner. Key facts about global animal health technology market. Animal health technology market. The falling price of technology and sensors has helped the adoption of technology on farms. Animal health companies are investing in technology and partnering with tech-focused organizations to work on apps and sensors. Veterinary sector is witnessing an inundation of new digital technologies. This does not necessarily translate to an increase in uptake of these innovations. There is a need for improved connectivity and integration to help veterinarians use digital technology to directly have a positive impact on animal health. This is where the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology has launched agricultural informatics as the important discipline to train all professionals in the agriculture and allied sector through digital technology, and livestock informatics is very important. I have been talking from 2011 onwards that. And even though Google has overtaken vet practice as the first port of call for information, this trend has to be countered. Digital technology can be harnessed to disseminate the knowledge that veterinarians have. Key for digital technology in livestock farming is to be able to measure variables, help producers manage their herds, provide ongoing monitoring, and then repeat this process. The value of innovation in another website talks about animal disease never rests. They constantly evolve and trigger a triple effect. They constantly evolve and trigger a ripple effect that impacts animal welfare, human health, and the economy. Disease outbreaks among livestock can threaten food security and trade, and increased pet ownership and companion animals bonding inspires the need for improved pet care solutions. Animal health industry is investing in exciting innovation that will have a profound impact on animal health and welfare. The power of innovation, the loss of 1 in 5 animals to disease every year is an ongoing and overlooked emergency. The consequences are far reaching, starting with animal welfare and extending to animal economic growth, food security, and human health and well being. The new health for animal report, new frontiers in animal care. The innovations are shaping the future. I'm quoting this. New health for animals, new health for animals report titled New Frontiers in Animal Care. The innovations are shaping the future shows that many promising innovations of the horizon that can reverse the trend. From smart sensors that continually monitor vital signs and AI-driven prediction technologies and microRNA vaccines and feed supplemented with health boosting ingredients. These scientific advances offer enormous potential for better animal health. Digital technologies and implication for veterinary services include wireless and mobile technologies for animal health monitoring, disease surveillance, and reporting and information sharing, advanced data processing technologies such as big data and data analytics used to uncover hidden patterns, prediction, and correlation other information. This is a proposal I submitted to the government in 2012. Promising technologies such as blockchain technologies used for effective and efficient management of various input supply chain. And I also want to quote from the guest speaker's LinkedIn profile. It's given very nicely. I thought that it's a time to quote from their LinkedIn, Dr. Maneesh Jain. It talks about Vvaan Lifesciences is a startup founded and managed by a team of professionals with decades of experience in animal health industry, committed to improve health, productivity, and performance of animals. We truly believe that quality, innovation, and talent leveraged with the technology have powers to transform the veterinary industry. And these are our guiding mantras. We would like to listen, we would like to collaborate, and we would like to rise together. And that's why the logo also, which you can see on the screen, it's like a rising one, together. And so many V's and N's and A's. Let us now turn to the address by Dr. Maneesh Jain, founder and CEO, Vvaan Lifesciences Private Limited, Mumbai, on the very important topic, animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent, and technology. Quality, innovation, talent, and technology that has the power to transform. Factor of 4. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching our telecast through facebook.com /Shobhit University India, youtube.com /Shobhit University, or linkedin.com /company /Shobhit University for establishing livestock value chain startup, agri-tech startup at Gram Panchayat level, one such startup in every Gram Panchayat to promote and sustain vocal for local to make it global. Let us unlock the opportunities in India at the earliest. The country requires 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups, one per each Gram Panchayat. Let me introduce the guest speaker to the audience, Mr. Maneesh. Dr. Maneesh Jain is a qualified veterinary doctor with 25 plus years of rich corporate experience of managing diverse businesses and has developed an upgraded sense of understanding towards the know-how of the building and growing businesses. A dedicated leader, team builder who thrives on collaborating with diversely talented team members and integrates their divergent thoughts opinions, and perspectives into meaningful action. He has worked across major species of animal health industry, including poultry, dairy, and companion animals in multinational companies like Pfizer, Mars, Jotis, and Gorgil, including holding different positions as commercial director, head, and regional professional channel manager. Since 2020, he started his journey as an entrepreneur and is founder and CEO of a startup, Vvaan Lifesciences Private Limited. Vvaan has been able to generate rural employment on COVID times by directly employing 200 plus colleagues across the country. Is a team of professionals deeply committed to improve health, productivity, performance, and well-being of animals. Vvaan has strong presence across India in all major spaces with products offering productivity and fertility solutions in dairy, natural and revived range for companion animals and productivity, preventive and biosecurity solutions in poultry. Vvaan field colleagues are touching lives of huge number of small livestock farmers through 12,000 plus veterinarian, paravets, and 7,000 plus small retailers. We truly believe that quality, innovation, talent, leveraged with the technology have powers to transform the animal health industry, and those bring our guiding mantras. That is the title topic of our industry. And according to his industry colleagues, I should also tell about Mr. Maneesh. Maneesh is a very detail oriented, committed professional. His work ethics is exemplary. He is a very good and effective team leader. He has excellent relationship with his customer. With this, I invite Dr. Manish Jain to address national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, on a very important topic, animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent, and technology have power to transform. And today is 18th August 2022. Over to you, Dr. Manish Jain, for your address. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Moni. Thank you so much, Shobhit University, for organizing the chain of webinars on the theme of Atmanirbhar Bharat and doubling farmers' income. I will be talking about I'll break it down into five. So initially, I'll start with my views on why do we need is there a need for doubling farmers' income? That's the question I ask myself, and then followed by what animal health overall has a role to play in that. It definitely has a role to play in that, and then coming to the topic of quality, innovation, talent, and technology, how it fits in with animal health, and then our this four words were coined, these four mantras were coined, considering how Vivaan will leverage these things, to bring that change. So I will connect there, and then finally, few recommendations which we believe can help supporting these four mantras. So. So doubling farmer income, I said, we keep hearing that, Professor Moni also mentioned that, respected Prime Minister has been talking about it. There's a lot of, lot of, lot of debate discussion happening around it. So I as a commoner was thinking, do actually we need, doubling farmers income. So there's certain data points which came across. So if we look at that in rural areas, agriculture sector engages 64% of the workforce, and 1/5 of the household, who are self-employed in agriculture as a primary occupation, their income is below poverty line. Farmer income, per cultivator is 35% of the non-agriculture income. So if you can compare agriculture for person earning income from agriculture versus non-agriculture, this is just 35%, which is very low. And The productivity of an agricultural workforce also is pretty low. It is like 62,000 rupees versus 1 point close to 8 lakh, which is there. And over the years, in the graph below, we can see over the years, the income from for an agriculture person, is much lesser. It is a range of 35 to 40% from a non-agriculture worker. So if I put all these common data point together, right? So what comes out is the consistent low level of absolute income, of the farmers, and when he looks at others, that disparity which is there, while the earning opportunity which is there in others, that actually brings stress. And what I mean by that is like eventually, which the implication could be, and one of the data somewhere suggests that rural for workforce has come down by 35 million, and from and it can go to 55% of agriculture workforce from 64%. I guess as we talk, it has already come to that level. So the implication which I as an individual think about is like possibly, this this will be a challenge, to food security moving forward in coming decades. That's the implication I take on this. So now, again, thinking about what all can be done to increase the farmers' income now. So one common thing comes to my mind is, okay, if the production increases, given everything the same, and the production increases, it's a common math that income can increase. Um, if what he produces, the selling price increases, of the same produce, then also he earns more money. And third is gets into a diversification. Now, diversification is many things, right? So diversification into agriculture, so different crops, high value crops, because and which he can grow on the same land, or non-agriculture activities. I guess few of the farmers, I assume, has already doubled their income, by maybe selling their land, but they no longer remain farmer. So that is another thing. And but the most, which matches the ecosystem is rearing of livestock, right? So Professor Moni also was mentioning, raising of dairy animal, raising of a backyard poultry, raising of a goat, sheep, anyways, little different. So or swine, in the northeast part of our country. So these are the things which goes well in that suit to the ecosystem which is there. And among this, I assume dairy is something which best suited to for a farmer to do this. And I will talk about it why I say so. So this is how, when we talk about rearing of livestock, and this is how animal health comes into the picture of how it can contribute to the doubling farmers' income. So if you look at an overall animal health market, sorry, the figures are not there. So details already have been talked about by Professor Moni. I don't know how the numbers are not visible. So we are talking about an animal health overall market.
They must have put it some different color coding, which is not showing it.
So something else, which is fine. So this, I think that's a common available data. Viewers would have seen it.
You can read it out. You can read it out column wise, so that
yeah. So recent census, 2019, we are talking of 193 million cows, 110 million buffaloes, 852 million poultry, sheep and goat 233 million. So this is the data. I also, pets is again a guesstimate. There is no census which happens, but the guesstimate is there are 20 million pets. And when I talk about pets, I'm talking about care about pets, because in India we have a lot of dogs who are like, who don't belong to anybody. maybe belong to community or not belong to being. So that I'm not talking of that count. I'm talking of a count which is like we call it as cared for dogs, right? It that somebody is at least administering them some at least some vaccine, some dewormer, or taking care of that. And I guess if I my there's around 6 million pigs in the northeast part. Overall, Professor Moni also mentioned the largest by value. If you look at animal health market, it's dairy, followed by poultry. Companion animal is in the range of 10-12%, though small, but it is very very it generates a lot of attractiveness because that is more closer to human being, and then other smaller species. So I will not talk about I will talk only about dairy and not other things, because I assume from a farmer perspective, poultry today is very very organized. It's got majors have got major of it has got integrated. So they're very very less for practically no small farms available. There are some open farms which is there. There may be in villages backyard, little bit farming there. So for all practical purposes, from a farmer perspective, I will not touch there. Pet is a different segment altogether. It's more urban. It's more related to um, uh, sec A, sec B, city population, and also I will not talk about that as well. So I will limit my talk on dairy. So if you look at overall what is driving animal health, so India again, very most attractive destination, for from decades and now as well. So our young population less than 25 is 46%. So that's a huge young population which we have. In animal health scenario also, Professor Moni also touched upon some data. I am also touching on it. If you look at, so so globally, animal health industry is poised to grow at around 6%, going to $55 billion, versus in India, CAGR would be touching 10. So that's so its weight will actually increase in global market. So it will grow much faster, in CAGR terms, compared to global. We have 462 million internet users. I guess it's an old data now. It has crossed 500 million. uh, and the food basket is also changing now. So if you look at it, the protein consumption from animal based products, fruits and vegetables is expected to grow up, right, from 36 to 42%. So that's these are the things which actually are driving animal health market in India. Ultimately, it's all about animal health market thrives on protein consumption, right? Be it milk, be it egg, be it meat. So that's except for pet, all other are productive animals, right? So that's how it and source of protein in some way or the other, including fisheries or pig. So it is a very attractive market to be, and it is going to remain attractive market share, but and with the increasing income and all, it's going to remain attractive for times to come. If you look at the dairy market, so India has a largest bovine population, or when I say bovine, I'm talking about buffalo and cow put together. So there are 300 plus million dairy animals. That's a huge head count which we have. But out of which, if I filter, we have around close to 45% which remains productive, because in our conditions, again, we can see cows on the road which are not cared for. So in milk, if I talk about with being a productive cow, I'm talking about less than 45%. We are the second largest milk producer, but I guess the only country which uh, consumes what it produces in terms of milk. And the CAGR is, of milk growth is 5.9%. Per capita milk have increased. It has crossed now 400 grams, and expected to grow by 6%. On the left side, if you see, this is the pyramid of dairy farmers, and this pyramid is built on number of headcounts group which they own. So if you look at top three levels, which is like animals from any farmer holding 10 animals and more, it's just 20% population which is there. 80% population still is, with farmer with a herd size of 2 to 4 animals, which is very, very, small. And the productivity, obviously, the productivities are also low there. But having said that, my view is the way our social structure is and have been, look at the legacies and the way villages are, somehow it used to work for them, because the that animal, is comes into use in many ways. And also, it provides a protein source, because India is only, the one of the uniqueness here in India is that whatever milk gets produced in India, 50% of it is consumed by the producer himself, which is not the case anywhere outside, right? Definitely not in the developed countries. It's a pure industry. Every ml of milk is sold. So that is a support which it gets. And now with the cooperative movement coming in, and any surplus milk being collected by all these large cooperatives, that's an additional source of income. So all I'm trying to say is, even a small herds for him, there are many debates and discussion in terms of herd size should be law. These are unsustainable. My view is, for him it works, because it's for him it's like a family member or a pet, and it works for it. Yes, productivity, if it goes up, it adds to his income. And so my estimate is, with the current network of what Professor Moni was saying, of all the animal health companies who are operating in India, my assumption is that all the animal health companies, with all their team size and colleagues, are reaching out probably only to that top 20% of that segment, and that too not completely. Now the entire challenge is to reach out that 80% population again. And the diversity of our country in terms of geography, and it becomes that there is where the big challenge, and possibly then opportunity, if it can come with a solution, which can bring that change which we are looking at. And because of this diversity and a small size, the challenge of bringing that change is there, because we don't find the one reaching out to them, and then no a very, what we call as a change agent, is not available that easily. You don't know where we can bring that change. So in contrast to that, if you look at a poultry industry in animal health, there's a huge change which has come with 3-4 decades. Pet industry, tremendous. I mean, from a when I passed out from a small clinic, very small clinic, to hospitals, now to hospital chains, and the technology which has come in there in terms of quality of treatment, that's huge change. Versus bottom of the pyramid, which we're talking about here, I am assuming it still struggles for, treatment, good or a basic or a timely treatment or a good treatment. So that's where the whole, the challenge, that's the big challenge and the big opportunity, I say, Professor Moni, and in terms of if technology can help out there. And dairy has a role in agriculture as well, right? That's a huge role there. So it's nearly 70% of the agriculture farmers, I mean, or put other way out, out of all agriculture farmers, 70% own, dairy animals. So that's a big number, right? And the output, milk output, from, if you calculate, right, 25% of the value of a total agriculture output, 25% is contributed by a milk. So if I remember some of the the discussion, we talk about that, it's individually it's the largest, probably 8 lakh crores or so, right? I don't think at an individual level, even any agriculture produce has that much of a value. So that's a huge contribution. 8.5 million workers, huge number of workers are there, and milk and milk product contribute, 9.2 to 12.4% of a protein intake in rural and urban areas. So rural area 9.2% and urban 12%. So that's again in India, because large population still, or good number of population, let me say, still being vegetarian, believe in vegetarianism. Milk remains a very milk and milk product remains a very important protein source. So and that's why I say I continue to see that, because this, I don't see that changing in near future. So milk will continue to remain protein source and in demand. And as I mentioned, the per capita income, per capita milk has already increased to 427 grams. So we are, I guess, if I remember right, we are producing roughly, when the National Dairy Plan was launched in 2011 and 12, there were talks of, crossing 140, 150 million metric ton of milk. I guess we are already touched 200 million metric tons of milk. So that's a huge progress there. Now, what are the common challenges which are there with, in this animal health, especially dairy industry? So as one, I said, low productivity. Part of it, I still say, is part of it. It is a design, because small herd size, and for a family, if he gets 4 liters of milk, he's good with that because it suffices purposes. But still, the productivity is low. Feed and fodder, because it again, because land size and all, we know all that stuff. Because of that is becoming a challenge, and in past 1.5 years, it has become further a big challenge, for this industry. Poor conception rate. So conception rates in terms of, because I guess everybody understands, unless an animal give birth to a calf, it will not give milk. So that's why the conception rate is very important. And here the conception rate, I guess, remains below 50%. So even in my experience or my interaction, because we travel rural a lot and meet practitioners and the farmers, I guess it's below 50%, right? Then conception rate is below 50%. Milk quality. So the parameters of milk quality, when I say because the parameters of milk quality are a little different here in India still. So we are still talking of fat percentage and SNF, and don't go to somatic cell count and other things, which is important when the milk get processed. So that milk, that I'm talking of, that milk quality. And then with now, and for consumption, and with the increasing awareness around EMR and things like that, that becomes important, and we need to cope up with this fast. Nutrition, as one, for maintenance and even for production, the nutrition is has a very important role. Emerging diseases, infectious disease which keeps, Professor Moni was also mentioning something about that. So that is also there. So as we are talking now, there is one disease which you guys, viewers would have heard about it. It's there in the newspaper and news. There's called lumpy skin disease, which is in some parts of the country is like spreading very fast. And any disease, which happens to an animal, the first impact is productivity of the animal. And if the productivity of the animal is affected, it affects the income of the farmer. That's a very straight connection out there. And low farmer awareness level. I guess this is the biggest piece, I would say, which is in the value chain, which if you want to bring change, that needs to address. Again, because as I mentioned, bottom of the pyramid, large number sitting there, accessibility to them, reaching out to them in a viable manner is a big challenge, and hence that's why we don't see much change out there. So even if I look at an animal health, I mean, it's the same practices which continue, and that's where the whole challenges. So this is a big area which is there. So based on all these challenges which I'm talking about, I am put my thoughts around, what could be the role of animal health in increasing farmers' income. So if I see it into two buckets. One is increase the income of by increasing the productivity of animal. That's one aspect of it. On the other aspect of it, if we can minimize the losses, right? So that we sustain the productivity. That is another angle of it. And to minimize the losses, the best thing is that animal remains healthy all the time. So for increasing the productivity, one, then it is kept for milk production. So we get a maximum milk production, out of the animal. That's number one. We need to optimize the intercalving period. In intercalving period, I mean to say, as I said, unless a cow gives, or a buffalo gives birth to a calf, milk will not come. And once the milk is given, a calf gives birth to one, it's a cycle, and it's a lactation cycle. So at 3 and 5 days, it'll stop giving milk. So by that time, it should be ready for calving again. So that intercalving period should be reduced. So we have everywhere we talk about one calf in a year, one calf per year. So that's another thing. As I just mentioned, increase the milk production cycle. So whatever is the milk production cycle, 300 odd days, at least get that. Of if more, it's better. For any reason, if it gives milk for less number of days, that's something which is lost there. Another thing, I guess, which is I think it's been worked on now, is earlier times, I think animal you was productive in many ways, not only in milk. If you to work in the fields, it byproduct used to get used for many things like fuel source, manure, and things like that. So it was productive in many ways, not only milk. So now there is some challenge which has come with increase in mechanization and technology, but still, it has a huge value in the byproducts, especially in terms of cow, which can be used as a manure. And as we connect back, that 70% of these farmers have an agriculture as well. So there are things like vermiculture, which happens, which converts the cow dung into a good manure, and which can be replenished into the field. So it actually adds indirectly, into saving. And if the productivity increases, soil health increases, it adds to their income. I've seen in some states now, it's going, a lot of work being going on in terms of, they call it, as a fuel, an alternate to the tree wood for using as a fuel. And other value-added product are also coming out of with, cow dung, gomutra, and things like that. So there is a huge opportunity there, which can add to farmers' income through that, apart from milk. And then genetic potential is important, as we have to increase the productivity. Yes, genetic potential has to be important, and AI, artificial insemination is playing a role there, and that's important. On the other side of it, if we have to keep the animal healthy at all times, we have to keep him away from the diseases. So, one important thing is a biosecurity. I guess this is one piece which has to be worked upon more in this segment. This concept is not that developed, and again, I said, because the awareness is low and the reaching out is difficult. So biosecurity is like, one is prevention. Right? Prevention is like vaccines is what we gave. We are talking of COVID. We were all waiting for vaccine, and the vaccine came and we got vaccinated. So we are prevented. So in dairy segment, vaccination is like only for very few disease, which is being, and that too, all programs run by government. There no other thing happens. So biosecurity, apart from vaccine, disinfection, keep the environment clean. That is one area. which can work, which should be worked upon. Very important is, I am saying, early diagnosis, because again, bottom of the pyramid, by the time somebody reaches there, it's the productivity loss starts. So early diagnosis with best in class treatment. Now that's a very aspirational statement I am making, I know, given the conditions. But that's the aspirational statement I am making, early diagnosis with best in class treatment. Because most of the time in the value chain, one, the time loss in reaching out to the bottom of the pyramid, and the quality of diagnosis or the quality of treatment or the quality of a person who reaches there may essentially may not be a veterinarian there, and which is where, the there is a productivity loss element which comes in. Optimum nutrition, very important when we are talking about a productive animal. Body, we all know, the first thing a body does is to use all its nutrient to maintain, a normal body, and then whatever is left goes towards production, right? So that is where the optimum nutrition is important. And in pregnant animal, it's a third stage where it goes right. The body will take care of self first and the baby first, and then whatever is left goes to the production. So nutrition, very very important role to play. Animal husbandry practices. So, Professor Moni, animal health, I am assuming, is part of an animal husbandry. So, animal husbandry practices and farmer education, I am emphasizing again and again, is something which I strongly believe, we call it as extension, is very very important. So, all put together, because of the small scale farmers segmented across India, and they require, access to reliable veterinary services, awareness, and quality of products to improve the productivity, for their animals. So this is in general, this is how I feel that, animal health can and definitely has a very, role contribution in, increasing the income of the animal, and within this means. Now, if I go to you know, the topic of quality, innovation, talent, and technology as a power to transform, and especially from an animal health industry perspective. So I go one by one. So by when I mean quality again, I'll connect it with the challenges which we were talking about. So we see we the challenges and the solution we are looking at is true. We need to increase the productivity, increase the fertility, sustain the productivity, and the fertility. So for this, the requirement is it has to be, the quality. Whether these quality is in terms of products which are being offered to them, whether it is quality of a treatment which is there, whether it's quality of any services which is happening there, right? So so which is where the critical piece comes in, right? So we're talking of an AI now, AI or a vaccine. It is one, it has to be quality of a, distribution chain which has to go in. Otherwise, then if it is not maintained, then obviously what we're talking of increasing the conception rate or a problem of low conception rate cannot be addressed. So very, very important. That's why we believe quality, can bring transformation to the industry. To the bottom of the pyramid, the type of medicines which reach, I'm not sure about it, that's my assumption. And which is where that's a negative cycle which continues. Innovation. If you look at the animal health industry and the type of molecules in dairy industry, it has been there for ages. No new, and again, I understand the challenge of the industry as well because of its again a generic nature. So innovation is less. So if and the requirement is, because to a poor farmer, the requirement is that he needs a low cost of treatment. So innovation there in molecules which can give a low cost of treatment, innovation in how timely and cost effectively we can do a heat detection. Heat detection means when the first sign when insemination has to be done for animal to conceive, that sign of heat needs to be detected, because if it is missed, another 21 days is gone, and then the intercalving period increases, so it's whole chain effect which happens. So that is where the innovation again there, how early heat detection can happen, pregnancy diagnosis happens, and the drug delivery system. Today, again, it's a very, very person dependent manual process. Again, as I said, first the pharma needs an access, and then that access is required for a treatment for multiple times or multiple days. So, is which consumes, and the cost of treatment also goes up because of that. So, innovation, drug delivery system, which he himself can deliver, or given applied, it's there in the body for a period of time. So for example, in companion animals or pets, right, these are available now. So there is a product which is available, if a surgery is happened, it's an antibiotic, you inject it to a dog, and for 14 days it maintains the blood level there. So look at the compliance of it, in terms of has to be given after the surgery, doctor gives it, and owner doesn't have to bother about morning, evening, afternoon, giving that, missing that, right? And the emotional stress of getting my pet pricked, that's not there. I guess same is there, because it has an effect on productivity, because the compliance is a big thing. We, even being human beings, if you have to eat a medicine 2 times, 3 days, you may miss once or twice. So this is where drug delivery system is I believe has a very huge role to play there. Talent, big opportunity and a gap area. We work with rural. We are, and more 90% team comes from rural background. We talk of unemployment. I talk of you don't get candidates. We don't get people. So skilled rural workforce is something which can preserve rural employment. So what we are talking of, 35 rural workforce going down by 35 million. If you need to be protected, skilled rural workforce has to be there, and this rural workforce can sustain that. You and me, anybody cannot go there and do things and sustain there. So if sustainability has to be come, it has to be through that rural workforce. It will increase employability, and it will increase income. And in the value chain, um, it can help everywhere, right? Be it marketing, be it services, right? Being distribution, everywhere it has a role to play. I'm sure, I keep hearing, a lot now, that villages, like there is no younger population in villages. There's only, senior citizen who are there in the villages. So there's nobody to take care of animals. Hence, number of animals are reducing. I am again connecting it back to, forget about the pressure it will build on a urban area. I am again connecting it back to food security, which will come into play. So I guess that's where, and I hear this even in small towns, which is there. Even in our workforce, when I talk, so I get excited living in a city about a farmhouse, but there they say I have my agricultural land, but I have come for a job. Why do you do a job? Because obviously that they are not able to sustain, on the farm income which is there. That's my first hand experiences I have. And technology, for animal health industry, I guess technology is something which is a very big word, because again, not adopted a lot of them. But and when I'm talking of technology, as technology has come, and again I say in poultry and in companion animal, technology has come. Poultry sheds now are like all environment controlled shed. It's perfect monitoring in terms of everything, every activity which happens there. Clinics, as I said, there are no more clinics. These are like hospital now, hospital chain coming. Technology has come in there, big way. But in dairy, again, if you look at the pyramid, maybe at the top of the pyramid, few farms, you can see the technology, you can see a milk parlor and things like that. Else, larger, it's far away. And here by technology, I'm talking about largely about digital. To my mind, that comes into way. So how, I mean, opportunity is there if we can use technology to, reach out. So how technology can be used to reach out. So it's very interesting. I'm sure everybody would have observed, Professor Mani. I travel and I like to drive. So I drive, take my car and drive. And when you go a little inside from a highway and you're traveling through villages, all across short distances, you'll see some one animal, two animal, three animal tied up. And out of curiosity, and especially now after coming into my own business, and we have some interest in technology, so I try and figure out, talk to them and figure out. I don't see there is uh, you know any good thing which reach them. I always wonder how it reaches them, because holding is less, value is low. And I still wonder, and I still dream if something can be done for them and some technology solution come to them in terms of how they can be reached and served. Health management, you touched upon it. Health management, there are systems, this, and this health management also is related to, as I said, timely and effective treatment, heat detection, and that's important, and elimination of unproductive costs. So if I put all this together, this can, support, for a local employability, local cause. We talk of Make in India, which can happen. Now, if I move further, how we as a Vvaan have are leveraging this mantra or trying to contribute through mantra. So this is what we do, right? So quality, again, the context, as I mentioned, was bottom of the pyramid and such a generic and a low entry barrier market. Um, there is always a pressure on sustainable, supply of a good, quality product. And I see it all the while, and I somehow sometimes I believe, yes, it's a business, but if if good quality medicine is available, to a farmer, he at least, he doesn't lose that productivity. That I see is a big challenge. And I don't want to speak on some other things which happen. I guess government has a role to play there, especially because they play a role, making things available. So, but at Vivaan, we are very sure, we make sure that, we are buying best raw materials, all reliable sources, tested, certified manufacturing plants, you know, try and be, because we're dealing with farmers who are so very friendly packaging and a reliable supply chain. So that's, we do our best for quality. We are not compromising on that, because somewhere apart from business, this element is there, that that the quality product should be reached to these farmers. Innovation, as I said, in this industry, innovation is less, R&D is less, and hence, and also the protection is low. The copyright is not there, production is low, anybody can copy easily and bring it inside. So, and that's the reason, the innovation is less. So so whatever we can do, we are doing it from a perspective of, innovative marketing in terms of solutions. I'll show some photographs moving forward, right? The formulations which we are using are all scientifically proven. We ourselves, being a veterinarians, and my two more co-founders are veterinarians, we make sure that scientifically proven. What solutions, even in terms of, rather than selling products, what solutions can we take them to meet the challenges of fertility, productivity, nutrition? We can do that. Try and do a very farmer friendly communications, so that, whatever we can reach about. And supply innovations, again, I say supply innovations because huge diversity in terms of geography, cost, and also, but the product should reach at right time, right? So currently, lumpy skin disease is going on, and there's a huge dearth of certain medicines which is there. So it should be available at the right time. Uh, Talent. So industries, industry, as I said, struggles with talent, right? Because talent pool is very small. Because size of industry relative to pharma, FMCG is very very small. So talent pool is very small. Exit barriers are low, high attritions are there, and so all these things are there. So what we try and do is we have comprehensive program to develop them online, offline. We use technology here as well. I'll talk about when I'm showing there. We have used technology to engage them, to upgrade their skill, talent, and nurture them, right? The product knowledge and the advantage of a product knowledge and things like this is it it is parted with a person who's treating them or to a farmer in context of the problem he is facing. So that is the advantage of it. Technology, yeah, i I think I'm fair in claiming that we as a startup or in animal, we are probably among the few or among the first in using some of the technology tools. So, for example, we said farmer friendly communication. So we hire rural, person colleagues from rural background and graduates. So they may not be very good in comprehending and communicating certain scientific things. So what we started doing is now is that we have started creating videos, right? So we provide them videos and e-detailers. So we are among the probably few companies who have got tablets and provided tablets to our field force, so that they are able to show a video, so that the and we have done these videos in local languages. So far, we have done in 6 languages, right? So that it is we are able to communicate to the farmer what we want to communicate in the language which he understands. Retailer, I'm talking about, Professor Moni. I'm not sure if you're aware or have seen that the retailer in a small village is a small shop who probably will keep veterinary medicines, human medicines, or maybe part of small FMCG things, sachets and things like that. And he is the only source for their farmer to get these things, including medicine. Because of the small ticket size, none of the companies go there. None of the companies go there, right? Including a startup, a small company like mine also, even for small, it's not viable. So we have built up an app, we call it a Care app for retailers. The whole idea is that we connect these retailers. So the idea is that one, he doesn't have to wait for anybody to come in and tell him what products are. It's there on the app. All products are there on the app. All wholesalers, whatever there is on the app, we are adding continuously. So he can just go there, he can just place his order, and it can be delivered. So again, I said, apart from business, I'm talking about even the small retailers, good quality medicine should be available. Else, who reaches them is a very generic local player, and which you have no idea about what he is supplying. Learnest is a platform I was talking about, which we use, to ensure that we are engaged and the skill and knowledge of our people are developed. Apart from that, there is a sales trip, there is an ERP. So all these technology tools which we are using. So this is just an example of quality which I'm talking about. So it's like ISO certified GMP plants. What we manufacture from my side are all GMP plants and things like that. This is the innovation technology I'm talking about. So if on the top left first is like those are the tablets on which the team works, and which is where we have already, the videos which are there, which they can play, e-detailing, which can be done. LearnX is what you see, which is used for virtual and then online. Right side, solution and protocol selling, where we sell solutions or protocols rather than an individual product, so that if we're talking of a fertility solution or total fertility solution, we're talking of productivity solution, we're talking of productivity solutions. WhatsApp chatbot, trying to engage customers through that, so that we are able to disseminate more knowledge. So as far as possible, Vahcare app, I said, this is Vahcare app, the screenshot of that. So we can reach out directly as much as we possible, so that the communication gap and it's not there. And if you're able to create that ecosystem, then you can reach out much faster, send your things and messages. So that's the whole thing which we are trying to strive with innovation technology. And when I use the word technology, I'm talking about leverage with talent, because the type of customer we are talking about, he needs an aid. He is not that savvy with the technology, so at least once or twice for onboarding, you require somebody or a talent to do that, and then we can move on. So that's our take on technology. So overall, if you look at what we are trying to do is develop and offer products and services at an optimal cost, so that small and marginal farmers can improve their productivity, fertility, and hence improve their income. Train, retain, and develop, the rural talent, so that they are able to reach out to more and more practitioners, and they are able to, through them, reach out to more and more number of farmers. And then develop digital content and expand to reach, to meet out the daily, whatever the needs of dairy farmers are. We have started using other, agriculture, platforms also, where we can reach out to more farmers. So finally, these are the recommendations I thought which can, help in what we are saying. So from a quality perspective, as I said, I see it more of a service, that we need to make sure that for that poor farmer, at least quality thing reaches to him, because once he uses it, he should get that result. So at least minimum quality norms for the products and the services. You mentioned about a sell of a DGCI, but that only controls a certain segment of it, not the all of it. Right? So, say for example, a supplement segment is completely out of it. Policies for entry players, unorganized entry players. So when I mean unorganized entry players, is fly by night sort of an operators are there, because that is something which hampers the sustainability of others. So that is something which some policy intervention around, so that there is something which a minimum standard which is there, and the quality certification. In terms of innovation, I guess a lot of scope there in terms of collaboration which is there, and especially when we are talking of challenge of limited R&D spend and interventions. But these things do happen in the ecosystem, and that's the beauty of it. So if I look at so looking at a platform where industry and academia which comes together. So the college, at the time when I passed out of my college, right, and the infrastructure of college which was there, and which I saw when I went a few months ago, I was like amazed. So it's a beautiful infrastructure which is there, and they do work. So, but I guess there is no connection out there. So if there can be a industry forum between the academician and a startup like us. Big companies don't lead it, but startup like us does, where we can work together on some innovation. It can be in terms of molecules, mostly in molecules, and or even services. Another is, if some access gets, a lot of gaushalas are here now. So those gaushalas, definitely there could be a mutual benefit there, in terms of you get access to those gaushalas for doing in vivo, product trials. Of course, animal safety, and that is important, and that's to be maintained. But I'm sure that there could be a mutual thing, which can happen between the gaushalas. They will get a support, and companies like ours will get a, also get benefited by that. A talent, build a talent pool with skill development and skill upgradation. Important, I did, one of the foundations, we did get connected, and because they were some work on skill upgradation. A lot of resumes we got, but then they were not relevant to what we were looking at. So because we were looking at a rural talent and reaching out to working out into rural conditions. So this is where it is. If we can build a talent pool, and then do skill them and upskill them. I think entire value chain can get benefited. Marketing being one of it, and entire value chain get benefited. Even in distribution, which I was few minutes ago, I was talking about when I travel and see, right? So rural people, that can be used. Incentivize commercial organizations, and pick up rural talent, develop them, and then create a platform to connect them with the pool. And then policies intervention, some in terms of labor laws, where it's a win-win thing, right? So sometimes labor laws are like little unfavorable. We also sometimes face that challenge. So some, it's at least favorable for in animal health segment. Technology, provide access to a rural extension departments. I guess that's where it can work wonders. I strongly believe that, that's a personal passionate thing. So extension is a very great important thing. So access to rural extension departments, so that we can collaborate and creating awareness and enhance reach. Incentivize adoption of digital tools, companies like ours, right? So it requires a lot of resource, and a startup like ours, will always be sitting on it, managing that. So some incentivization, to adoption of these digital tools which can be developed. And there is a microcredit ecosystem which is there, but I'm not very sure about how far it reaches to this animal health and a health ecosystem, right? For a small retailer, if I'm talking about. So if these can be engaged, so that and through technology, so that we can address a smoothing of the cash flow issues. So these are some of the recommendations which are there, which I thought, putting out the gist of it and put it together, if it helpful. So Professor Moni, this is all I had to speak about. For me, making 1 hour presentation is a task, because I speak probably less and fast. Uh, so this is all I have to say about what animal health is and what our mantras can do.
Thank you very much. And you can come out of you can keep this one. It's very important. And I was very happy that you spent, it is about 1 hour 45 minutes. That you talked about at least 1 hour in this area. It's very important. Uh, the recommendations which you have displayed is very important, that let us also spend some time on this one, that how startup like yours, Vvaan, and the Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, where we have launched an BTech, MTech level program on MTech Agricultural Informatics to train rural students in all disciplines, and also MBA in Agribusiness Management with livestock management, agriculture, agribusiness. So this
Okay.
also I worked on. I will send you the brochures,
Sure.
and And as a person who was involved in this entire value chain, and I was quite impressed that even though I have a first proposal I put up to the government in January 2000, and also presented to the Veterinary Council of India in those days when I was the Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, working for IT and agriculture sector, Animal Production and Health Informatics Network
Hmm.
in 2000. And then the National Animal Disease Reporting System,
Hmm.
7,000 locations, 7,032 locations. Then after seeing this, you put it that how to bring in data analytics in a big manner, and also networking of all animal disease laboratories,
Hmm.
diagnosis laboratories. And that time is about something like 750. They don't have any network except the National Referral Laboratory, which is in Bhopal.
Yeah.
And this is very important. But those proposals have gone to the department, and that time it was a department of animal husbandry, dairying, and fisheries. On those days, later it became ministry now.
Yeah.
And it is very important that when you talk to, that's why that in the doubling farmers income, we emphasized on this integrated farm health management, and how to have, even to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil and harvested food for animal or plant or human, because that is this the the minerals in soil controls the membranes in human cells and plant cells and animal cells. So the soil health is more important,
Yeah.
and water health is more important. This is what I thought. I have been propagating it. I'm not an agriculture scientist. I'm a pure mathematics student and computer science student working in data value chain from 1987 onwards. 83 data value chain, we talked about district information system on agriculture, animal husbandry, and fisheries. Then later, animal production and health informatics network, fisheries informatics network. And then now the 7 mission mode programs are digital technology in agriculture, and how to make this that life's digital technology can come into every aspect of this 82% of the farmyard farmers, livestock farmer, and who can help even maintain sustainably 2 to 5 animals, which can give milk in the morning and evening, and also how to get nutritious fodder and feed, even during cyclone, even during drought, even during rainy season, where the woman from the house need not go outside to look for nutritious grass and so on and so forth for the animal, whereas the government ensured public distribution system for common public. Even on festival, they give public distribution system, yeah, on particular day, and also ensure doll and everything through public distribution system, whereas the animal which gives milk in the morning and evening, and during cyclone or drought or rainy season, they don't get any food, appropriate feed and fodder, but they give milk in the morning and evening. That is an it's a very important thing to look at it. And you rightly said it: quality, innovation, talent, and technology. This is where I have been emphasizing that 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups has to come in the rural area. They should come out from the urban area. All, why to have an IITs and aims only in urban area? Why don't you go and set up in rural area and develop it all, and in the educational institutions? And this is important thing that which you brought it. And animal health value chain, which you talked about it will bring all the stakeholders together. If health is core for an animal, which gives wealth to the people, and it's not the other way around, so why don't we have that value chain, animal health value chain, digitally enabled? And we'll also reskill rural youth. So my request will be that
how your startup and the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, you want to start with maybe a 6 months diploma based on your experience to make it animal health value chain, a diploma in livestock informatics and with animal health value chain, which will bring in all agribusiness management aspect in livestock sector. We can bring it. I will send you the all the brochures so that
Sure.
we can carve out, and we have signed an MOU with many through these webinars about 40 NGOs who have signed an MOU to work with university to bring in value chain, data value chain, sectoral value chain, commodity value chain, and so on. So everything is a digitalization means data value chain. Without data, you can't apply artificial intelligence techniques. You
Right.
can't do data processing technology. You can't
Yeah.
do analytical. You can't use analytical frameworks, and
Hmm.
you can't do GIS one. But so you try. You can't apply on statistics. You have to
Yeah.
put it on data. So
Yes.
I was quite impressed by your talk. I'm very happy you are also traveling. But the thing is that I was quite impressed by your vision and mission and goal and achievement, that improve quality, undertake innovation, and provide a talented pool of people and adopt technology. This is very important. And let us. My request will be that how to go about it, and is it possible with your vast experience? Can we start an 6 months diploma program with the credits nowadays under the new education policy? They can take the credit. They can have a
Okay.
multiple entry and multiple exit, and they can
Hmm.
do one credit in one university and they can take the credit to other university. That's
Okay.
not an issue. So let us try to have it, because 6.25 lakhs villages, and we have to promote dairy industry at the grassroots level. And if the dairy industry comes, and if improved quality, improved nutrition, healthier animal, healthier human being, healthier India, and healthier world. And Dr. Narayan Hegde, former president of BEF, while he was addressing this webinar series, he said that, Prof. Moni, we should work for that milk parlor in every gram panchayat. It's very important. People should have technology. The technology should reach there, and animals should not have animals should not be transported for medical treatment,
Yeah.
and the telemedicine has to go over there. So, and it's very important that I have been voicing for this type of things, that why can't we have an animal which gives money, wealth to the people? And this is an important thing, and I'm very happy that your talk has got impressive approach based on practical realities, ground truth, and how to carefully walk to support the bottom of the pyramid. That is, you put it very nicely, that the 80, that your grade, the challenges, that you have a backyard farm, you have an unorganized form, you have a semi-organized form, and organized form. It is from 2 to 4 liters gradation to up to 10 liters gradation, and between 10 to 50 liters gradation, and then more than 50, more than 20 liters gradation. 2 to 3 liters, 6 to, and up to 10 liters, and then up to 20 liters, and more than 20 liters. And what is the population? 105 million people are involved in backyard farm, having animals 2 to 4. And this is the area where we have to tap.
Yeah.
And you also very rightly said it in your address. So I would like to request you that let us through a memorandum of understanding, and it is a 2-page. I will send it to you. Let us
Sure, sir.
join together, and let
Sure,
us
sir.
work for every gram panchayat in the country through these, skill development programs, and livestock informatics development program, and agribusiness in livestock, agribusiness in dairy management, dairy value chain, and so on and so forth. And 2000, I think I remember in 2010, Banaras Hindu University, they talked about that how to bring in livestock informatics network. I have been asked to give an theme paper, how to attract through animal husbandry extension, livestock extension, to provide livestock extension to the farm woman. And they put it my paper as a theme paper. I will send it to you that way back in 2008, what all the things which I talked about it. And I'm still, but I'm watching it. The country has got a lot of technology, digital India programs, so many national level programs, but percolation to village level, at a farm level, animal level, it has got its own. It is not an expressway.
Yeah.
It has got a lot of hurdles. And rural development people sitting at block level, animal husbandry people, they are not the Facebook and LinkedIn for farmers.
Yeah.
And then district administration, they don't look into it. They're all bothered about only how to do these subsidy level programs. So we have to get into that, this is subsidy, driven program, rather than that, how to make farmer wealthier, rather than farmer running from pillar to post to get subsidy.
Yeah.
And then waiver of loans. How to make agriculture cooperative societies as a value chain. And how to make, that's how the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report talks about 7 mission mode programs for digital technology in agriculture. So how to adopt it? That is the reason only whether the government is, Minister of Agriculture is interested to operationalize this recommendation of doubling farmers' income or not. As the Farmer Director General, National Informatics Center, as the Professor Emeritus and Chairman of 5 Centers of Excellence of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology. For your information, this is the first private university to have these 5 Centers of Excellence to promote technology in rural area, not even IITs, not even NITs. And we thought that we should have, taking advantage of the COVID situation, have a national webinar. Talk to people on every week, motivate them. And today is the 89th edition. I completed 89th edition in this national webinar series on doubling farmers' income, and 87th edition on international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India. On December 11th last year, after completing 50 editions, we had a national conference at Hotel La Meridian. We invited Chairman of the All India Council of Technical Education, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, and Chairman of Doubling Farmers Income Committee report, Dr. Ashok Dalwai. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe said it. If every professor in the many of the universities, of the technical institutes, accredited to All India Council of Technical Education, if they conduct webinars like what Professor Moni is doing it, we will have solution for all the grassroots level problems. They have research scholars, they have students, they have infrastructure, and why can't they have what Professor Moni is doing from sitting in Meerut for a national level problems, inviting experts from both India and abroad? Why can't the institutions who are accredited to All India Council of Technical Education, why are they not doing it? They come for grants. They should come to the All India Council of Technical Education to sell their solution. We have done a solution for this problem. You see it and buy it. Rather than looking for a grant. And that's how I shown the way as a farmer director, for a farmer technocrat, and for born and brought up and promote the digital technology in every aspect. And it is very important whether the policymakers will be looking into it. We normally send this link to Prime Minister's office, Niti Aayog, and concerned ministries and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Let us work together and let us bring it out. Let us have an action plan, and so to that we'll show maybe that in one district in every state, maybe 28 districts, where animal livestock is a premier activity, and show the result and leave to the country to scale up in a very effective manner.
Sure, sir. Sure,
I
sir.
would like to hear I would like to hear from you, and then I will close the webinar and we will leave the studio. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for hosting the webinar. Thank you, all the viewers. And sir, as you mentioned, we should definitely work together and see how we can contribute and take this theme forward.
Thank you very much. I thank Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, faculty members, and our guest speaker, Dr. Maneesh Jain, founder and CEO of Vvaan Lifesciences, for delivering and for facilitating this weekly webinar series on important topic. And I thank Dr. Maneesh Jain for delivering a very wonderful talk titled Animal Health Industry, Quality, Innovation, Talent, and Technology, which will have the power to transform. And he emphasized the need for animal health value chain, digital technology enabled animal health value chain, and how it should work for 105 million backyard farmers who produces 2 to 3 liters per day milk, how this can be increased upon, and how they can bring into the value chain. This is a challenge, and we should overcome through the digital India program, how to adopt it, how to bring in this technology reaching the rural area. And BharatNet is reaching to every village, and we adopt that BharatNet programs and digital technology, digital penetration, and digital India. Through digital India, let us make digitalized India. You can have an online system, but the online system has to be a real-time systems. And
Yeah.
this is where rural India will become a real India, online India, if that rural India is well connected, and lot of value chain programs bring it out with respect to agriculture. What is being produced in rural area has to be processed, and it has to be integrated with national value chain and global value chain, and they should get the maximum amount, their market realization for the produce, which they get it through traceability and blockchain technology and food trust labels. This is very important. With this, I thank you, and we will close the webinar and leave studio. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll leave the studio. Thank you very
Sure.
much.